Me, 32-year-old male, making decent money around 120K. Always been careful with finances, started investing early in 20s, built up solid portfolio of stocks, retirement accounts, real estate. Meet Jessica at friend's wedding when I'm 28. She's 26, works part-time as yoga instructor, very free-spirited type, beautiful, fun, completely different from my usual analytical personality. We hit it off immediately, start dating seriously within a few months. She's not great with money, spends everything she makes on experiences. You can't take money with you when you die. Life is about living in the moment, not saving for someday. Opposite philosophies, but I'm smitten with her energy and spontaneity. After a year of dating, we move in together. I pay majority of expenses since I make much more. She contributes what she can, but it's minimal compared to my income. Doesn't bother me because I love her and want to take care of her. She starts hinting about marriage after we've been together 2 years. When are you going to make an honest woman out of me? Talks about dream wedding, honeymoon destinations, future plans. I'm ready to propose but want to be smart about protecting assets. Approach topic of prenuptial agreement during engagement discussion. Just want to make sure we're both protected if anything happens. Jessica immediately gets defensive and emotional about suggestion. Don't you trust me? Planning for divorce before we're even married? Prenups are for rich people who don't believe in love. Spend weeks discussing importance of financial protection. Explain that it's not about not trusting her personally, but about being realistic that many marriages end in divorce. This protects both of us and removes money stress from relationship. Eventually, she agrees reluctantly after talking to her friends. Fine, but it's insulting that you think I'm after your money. Hire good lawyer to draft comprehensive prenuptial agreement. Protects my premarital assets, investments, inheritance, business interests. Also includes provisions about debt, spousal support, property division. Jessica barely reads document before signing. Whatever, this whole thing is stupid and unromantic. Her lawyer reviews it briefly. She signs without much consideration. Can we plan the wedding now instead of focusing on divorce? Wedding is beautiful, expensive affair that I mostly pay for. Jessica gets her dream destination wedding in Costa Rica. Honeymoon in Europe for 3 weeks. All expenses covered by me. First few years of marriage are genuinely happy. We travel, enjoy life. She continues working part-time. I handle all major expenses. She contributes to groceries and personal items. Never discuss money problems because there aren't any. Around year 4, Jessica starts getting restless about lifestyle. All your friends are buying bigger houses and fancy cars. When are we going to start living like successful people? Explain that I prefer to invest money rather than spend on status symbols. She becomes increasingly frustrated with my frugal approach. Starts spending more on clothes, spa treatments, girls' trips. Uses joint credit card for expenses we never discussed. Begin having arguments about money and lifestyle expectations. You make good money, but we live like we're poor. What's the point of saving if we never enjoy it? Different fundamental philosophies about money causing real tension. Year 5 brings serious marital problems. Jessica feels unfulfilled with part-time work and domestic life. I gave up my career goals to be supportive wife. Starts taking expensive courses in life coaching and wellness. Puts everything on credit cards without discussing with me. Debt starts accumulating while she pursues various business ideas. None of her ventures generate any significant income. But she keeps investing in new certifications and training programs. Arguments become more frequent and intense. You're controlling and don't support my dreams. Marriage should be partnership, not you making all decisions. She starts talking about needing space and finding herself. Suggests trial separation to work on ourselves individually. Moves out to stay with friend while we figure things out. During separation, she starts dating other men almost immediately. Claims it's not serious, just exploring who I am outside marriage. File for divorce after catching her in multiple lies about relationships. She's shocked that I'm actually ending the marriage. I thought we were just taking a break to work things out. "You're giving up on us instead of fighting for our love." Explains that infidelity during separation crossed line for me. Trust is broken, and I don't see path forward together. Divorce proceedings begin. Jessica hires aggressive lawyer. Initially confident that she'll get significant financial settlement. "I supported you for 7 years, sacrificed my career for family, entitled to half of everything you built during our marriage." Her lawyer starts demanding discovery of all financial records, stocks, retirement accounts, real estate, business investments. Jessica assumes she'll get major payout from divorce settlement. Talks to friends about how she'll finally have financial independence. Few weeks into discovery process, my lawyer presents prenuptial agreement. Jessica's lawyer reviews document more carefully this time. Realizes that most valuable assets are protected as premarital property. Stock portfolio worth $800K was built before marriage, protected. Retirement accounts worth $400K, mostly premarital contributions. Rental property purchased before marriage, protected. Only marital assets subject to division are house and joint savings. Jessica calls me crying after meeting with her lawyer. "This isn't fair. I thought prenup was just formality. You tricked me into signing away my rights." Explains that she read and signed document with legal representation. Her own lawyer reviewed and approved agreement at the time. "You said it was just to protect both of us. I didn't understand you were protecting everything from me." Breakdown continues as financial reality sets in. During marriage, she assumed my assets automatically became ours. Never realized that prenup specifically protected premarital wealth. Thought document was mainly about future inheritance or business. Didn't pay attention to clauses about existing investments and property. Her lawyer explains she's entitled to half of house equity only, plus half of joint savings account, which has about $20K. Spousal support limited to 2 years maximum under prenup terms. Total settlement around $150K instead of expected $600K plus. Jessica becomes desperate and tries multiple strategies. Claims she signed prenup under duress and without understanding. Argues that she gave up career to support my success. Demands reconsideration based on her contributions to household. My lawyer points out that she had independent legal counsel. Prenup clearly written in plain language she could understand. No evidence of coercion or misrepresentation at time of signing. Jessica's lifestyle expectations completely unrealistic post-divorce. Assumed she'd get enough money to maintain comfortable standard. Reality is, she'll need full-time job and major lifestyle changes. Yoga instructor income won't support apartment and car payments, let alone travel and spa treatments she's accustomed to. Starts bargaining for additional settlement outside prenup terms. "I know you're a good person who doesn't want to hurt me. We had good years together. Don't leave me with nothing. Think about what people will say about how you treated me." Emotional manipulation doesn't work because prenup is ironclad. My lawyer advises sticking to agreement terms exactly. Any deviation could set precedent for future challenges. Jessica tries involving mutual friends in pressure campaign. Tells people I'm being cruel and vindictive in divorce. He's keeping all his money while leaving me destitute. Friends who know our situation point out she agreed to terms. "You signed contract. Can't change mine now because outcome inconvenient." Most people understand that prenups exist for this exact situation. Final divorce hearing is devastating for Jessica. Judge upholds prenuptial agreement completely. Awards her exactly what prenup specified, nothing more. She breaks down crying in courtroom when decision announced. "This isn't what I thought would happen." Her lawyer explains she has no grounds for appeal. Prenup was properly executed with independent counsel. No evidence of fraud, duress, or unconscionability. Afterwards, Jessica calls me begging for reconsideration. "I'll never be able to afford a decent place to live. You have so much money, sharing more wouldn't hurt you. Please don't destroy my life over legal technicality." Explain that prenup isn't technicality, it's binding agreement. She made choice to sign without reading carefully. Consequences are a result of her own decision-making. Stick to settlement terms despite emotional appeals. Jessica's post-divorce life requires major adjustments. moves back in with parents temporarily, takes full-time job at wellness center, major lifestyle downgrade, no more expensive vacations, spa treatments, or shopping sprees. Has to budget carefully for basic expenses like most people. Friends mention she's bitter about outcome. Blames me for hiding prenup implications from her. Tells people I manipulated naive young woman. Refuses to accept responsibility for not reading document. 6 months later, she contacts me wanting to reconcile. I realize now that money isn't most important thing. We had real love. Don't throw that away over financial disagreement. I'm willing to sign stronger prenup if we try again. Obvious that financial reality motivated reconciliation attempt, not genuine desire to repair relationship or address core issues. Decline reconciliation offer politely but firmly. We had fundamental differences that money can't solve. Prenup protected me exactly as it was designed to do. Year later, doing well financially and emotionally. Prenup saved me from potentially devastating financial loss. Able to maintain investment strategy and retirement planning. Financial security intact despite marriage failure. Learned valuable lesson about importance of legal protection. Regardless of how much you love someone, protect yourself. Emotional decisions can't override practical considerations. Meet new partner who's financially responsible and independent. Discuss prenup openly from beginning of serious relationship. She understands and respects need for financial protection. Smart people protect themselves. That's not romantic, but it's realistic. Much healthier dynamic when both people self-sufficient. Hear through mutual friends that Jessica's still struggling financially. Working multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet. Lives in studio apartment. Can't afford car she wants. Occasionally posts on social media about learning to live simply. But friends say she's still bitter about divorce outcome. Some people criticize me for not being more generous. You could have given her more money without hurting yourself. Technically, legal doesn't mean morally right. But prenup served its exact intended purpose. Protected assets I built through years of careful planning. Prevented emotional divorce from becoming financial disaster. Jessica had same opportunity to build wealth, but chose different path. Her financial problems result from her own choices. Not my responsibility to fund her lifestyle indefinitely. Learned that love alone isn't enough for successful marriage. Need compatible values around money, planning, responsibility. Prenup revealed fundamental differences we couldn't overcome. Better to discover incompatibility than lose life savings. Now, advocate for prenups among friends getting married. Hope you never need it, but protect yourself just in case. Romantic feelings change, but legal documents are permanent. Better safe than sorry when it comes to financial security. Prenup saved my financial future when marriage didn't work out. Jessica's breakdown showed she never understood documents she signed. Assumed marriage would automatically entitle her to my assets. Prenup protected me exactly as intended when reality hit. Be me, 27-year-old female, work in marketing at tech company. Always wondered why male coworkers seem different around women. Not obviously nervous, just more careful somehow, like they're thinking before every word comes out. Notice they laugh more freely when it's just guys talking, but around women, they measure their responses. Assume it's just professional behavior or maybe shyness. Start paying closer attention during team meetings. Male colleagues make jokes and casual comments with each other. When women join conversation, tone becomes more measured, not hostile or weird, just less spontaneous, like they're editing themselves in real time. Attend company happy hour after work. Group of guys from engineering talking about weekend plans. Animated discussion about hiking trip and camping gear. I walk over to join conversation. Energy shifts slightly. Still friendly, but conversation becomes more generic. Oh, hey Sarah, how was your week? Instead of continuing their previous discussion about outdoor adventures, later overhear same guys in break room being much more relaxed, talking about personal stuff, making casual observations. Nothing inappropriate, just more them. Ask my friend Jake from college why guys seem so formal sometimes. Honestly, we just learned to be more careful about what we say. Not because of any specific incident, just general awareness. Different things are funny to different people. Explains how something that's hilarious between guys might not land well. Easier to keep things safe than accidentally make someone uncomfortable. Gives example of coworker who made casual comment about dating. Female colleague took it as inappropriate workplace discussion. Nothing came of it, but created awkward tension for weeks. Now we just stick to safer topics when women are around. Visit my brother's apartment during his birthday party. His male friends are telling stories, laughing loudly. Reminiscing about college adventures and embarrassing moments. Female guests arrive. Conversation doesn't stop, but changes. Same stories get told, but with different language. Automatic adjustment without anyone saying anything. My brother mentions this later while cleaning up. We just want everyone to feel included. But inclusion seems to mean dulling down their natural dynamic. Not malicious, just protective of the group atmosphere. Explains how mixed groups require different social navigation. Can't assume everyone shares same sense of humor or perspective. Notice this at my gym too. Men training together joke around between sets. Casual ribbing about lifting techniques or workout struggles. When women are nearby, conversations stay focused on workouts. Still friendly but less personal commentary. Makes sense, but notice women chat freely regardless of who's around. Only men seem to adjust their behavior based on who's present. Attend wedding of college friend last month. Bachelor party stories get heavily edited for mixed company reception. Groom's speech carefully crafted to be family appropriate. Not because content was offensive, but because context matters. You had to be there becomes code for not appropriate now. Groom's friends still having fun, but clearly self-censoring. Bride's friends seem oblivious to this social calibration. Continue conversations naturally without adjusting for audience. Different approach to social interaction between genders. Men considering impact on entire group. Women expressing individually. Start asking male friends directly about this behavior. Most don't even realize they do it initially. I guess we just read the room differently. Not conscious decision, but learned response over time. My friend Marcus explains during lunch conversation. Learned in college that humor doesn't always translate. Describes situation where casual joke was taken seriously. Female classmate interpreted sarcastic comment as genuine insult. Nothing terrible happened, just uncomfortable for everyone. Now prefers to err on side of caution in mixed groups, especially in professional settings where relationships matter. Notice my dad does this too when I really pay attention. Completely different person with his male friends versus family gatherings. Not fake, just different aspects of his personality. With his buddies, crude jokes, political opinions, personal complaints. With family, measured responses, diplomatic language, careful topics. Mom mentions she's noticed this change over years. Your father used to be more outgoing at parties. Dad explains when I ask him directly about it. Learn that keeping peace is more important than being right. Describes how family harmony depends on avoiding controversial topics, especially when different generations and genders mix. Not suppression, but strategic communication for group benefit. Visit Friends Book Club, which recently became co-ed. Male members contribute less to discussions initially, not because they don't read or have opinions, but because they're gauging reactions before speaking. Female members don't seem to notice this dynamic. Assume male quietness means lack of engagement. But when asked directly, men offer thoughtful insights. They just needed explicit invitation rather than jumping in. Needed permission structure rather than open discussion format. Reveals different comfort levels with group participation. Women comfortable sharing opinions spontaneously. Men preferring invited participation to avoid dominating. Attend neighborhood barbecue with diverse group of families. Men helping with grilling. Casual conversation flows normally. Discussing sports, work projects, home improvement plans. Women join cooking area. Men become more task-focused. Still helpful and friendly, but less conversational. Host mentions he's noticed this pattern at gatherings. Guys just want to make sure everyone has good time. Social harmony prioritized over individual expression. Men taking responsibility for group atmosphere maintenance. Realize this extends to online interactions too. Male friends' social media posts more curated than women's. Fewer personal opinions, more neutral sharing. When asked, they mention not wanting to start arguments. Easier to keep things light than deal with controversy. Self-censorship extending to digital spaces. Not fear, but desire to maintain positive relationships. Visit friends' co-working space during networking event. Male entrepreneurs pitch ideas differently to mixed audience. More formal presentations. Fewer personal anecdotes. Same ideas but delivered with professional distance. Female entrepreneurs share personal stories freely. Men stick to facts and figures in mixed company. Organizer mentions this gender difference in presentation styles. Men seem more comfortable with women in audience for business topics, but less likely to share personal journey or struggles. Professional networking affected by social calibration. Speak with my therapist about these observations during session. She mentioned seeing this in couples counseling frequently. Men often filter their thoughts before speaking, not because they're hiding something problematic, but because they've learned to consider impact on others. Communication styles adapted to maintain relationship harmony, sometimes at expense of authentic self-expression. Start noticing this in my own family dynamics more clearly. Male relatives defer to women's preferences for activities, not because they don't have opinions about restaurants or movies, but because they've learned family peace depends on female happiness. Happy wife, happy life. Mentality extends beyond marriage. Men adjusting behavior to maintain group cohesion. Women in family don't seem to reciprocate this deference. Assume male flexibility means lack of strong preferences. Actually indicates priority placed on group harmony. Visit friend's yoga class that recently started accepting men. Male students follow along but don't ask many questions. Instructor encourages participation. Men respond minimally. After class, overhear guys discussing poses and techniques. Detailed analysis of alignment and muscle engagement. Obviously thinking deeply about practice. Teacher mentions difficulty getting male students to participate. They seem worried about taking up space. Social conditioning affecting learning environments. Men avoiding behavior that might seem attention-seeking. Realize I contribute to this dynamic sometimes without knowing. Catch myself analyzing male comments for hidden meanings. Casual observations get scrutinized for appropriateness. Male friends probably sense this evaluation happening. Adjust their behavior accordingly without realizing it. My hyper-awareness creates the filtering I notice. Unconscious bias affecting natural conversation flow. Start experimenting with different approaches. Signal acceptance through body language and responses. That's interesting, tell me more, instead of silent analysis. Notice immediate difference in male communication. Comfort. 3 months of dedicated observation reveals subtle pattern. Men self-edit around women, not from fear but from consideration. Learned to prioritize group comfort over individual expression. Social skills adapted to mixed gender environments. Not dramatic change but gradual calibration over time. Women often unaware of this adjustment happening. Assume male quietness indicates disengagement or disinterest, but really indicates thoughtful participation. Emotional labor performed invisibly for group benefit. Speak with sociology professor about gender interaction patterns. Men socialize to be protectors of group harmony. Explains how traditional masculine roles included maintaining peace. Modern version involves emotional rather than physical protection. Avoiding conflict through careful communication choices. Learned behavior that becomes automatic over time. Research shows men interrupt less in mixed gender groups. Contrary to popular assumptions about male dominance, actually demonstrate more social awareness in diverse settings. Begin observing workplace meetings with new perspective. Male colleagues actually speak less when women present. Not because they're intimidated or lack confidence, but because they're managing group dynamics. ensuring everyone gets heard and included. Women colleagues unaware of this protective behavior interpret male quietness as lack of engagement, misrecognition of thoughtful group facilitation. Start appreciating rather than questioning this social awareness. Realize male friends work hard to include everyone comfortably. Their filtering creates space for different communication styles. Not suppression, but adaptation for group benefit. Social intelligence often goes unrecognized and undervalued. Begin encouraging more authentic expression in mixed groups. What were you guys talking about before I got here? Signal that editing isn't necessary for my comfort. Notice male friends gradually becoming more natural. When given clear indication that authenticity is welcome, learned that relaxation requires demonstrated safety, not assumed comfort, but earned trust through actions. Visit different social environments to test observations. Male friends more animated when discussing shared interests. Women join conversation, men shift to more inclusive topics. Not excluding women, but adjusting content for broader appeal. Attend mixed-gender hiking group meetup. Men on trail talking about gear and technical aspects. Women join group, conversation shifts to scenic observations. Still hiking related but less technical and more universally appealing. Knowledge sharing becomes more teaching oriented, less peer-to-peer technical discussion. 6 months of detailed observation reveals complex pattern. Men navigate mixed-gender environments through careful calibration, not conscious oppression, but learned social intelligence, automatic adjustment for group harmony and inclusion, emotional labor performed invisibly and without recognition. Women often unaware of protective behavior happening around them, interpret male caution as disengagement or lack of authenticity, misrecognition of sophisticated social skill development. System creates lose-lose situation for men. Authenticity risks social disruption or misunderstanding. Filtering creates perception of emotional unavailability. No clear path for natural expression in mixed environments. Start examining my own role in perpetuating these dynamics. Realize I often expect male emotional availability, while unconsciously punishing authentic male expression. Be yourself, but not too much. Contradictory message. Begin creating explicit space for male authenticity. Signal acceptance through words and actions. I want to hear what you really think about this. Demonstrate interest in unfiltered male perspective. Notice dramatic difference in male comfort and openness. When safety clearly established through consistent behavior. Men don't relax around women because they care about relationships. Want to maintain positive connections with everyone, in group. Social calibration shows emotional intelligence, not fear. Thoughtful communication designed to include rather than exclude. Misunderstood consideration for collective comfort over individual expression. Learned that male social skills often invisible and underappreciated. Sophisticated emotional labor performed for group benefit. Different approach to maintaining social harmony than female methods. Both valuable, but only female methods typically recognized. Understand male relaxation requires demonstrated acceptance, not assumed comfort, but proven safety through consistent behavior. Learned that creating space for male authenticity requires intention, explicit permission, and consistent positive response. Different social needs don't indicate deficiency, just different approaches to relationship and community building.